What up, world? Welcome to another episode of Wrestling Life. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always, on all podcast platforms over Brandon Janeau Show, social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, real Brandon Janeau Show. That's real Brandon Janeau Show. REAL Brandon Janeau Show. Facebook, the Brandon Janeau Show. Um, and of course, TikTok, Brandon Janeau Show. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. I would appreciate it if you did. Really, you go though. Really, where you go though is the YouTube channel, man. BrandonJaneauShow YouTube channel. Um, like the vids, like the shorts, all helps with the algorithm. If you do, yeah, all helps with the algorithm if you do. Let's get into it, man. Like I said, this is wrestling life. I wrote some stuff down, and last night happened. Last night happened, and this shit doesn't even matter at this moment. Sami Zayn. It's a divisive thing when a company like WWE gives someone like a Sami Zayn a championship because on one hand, you understand the magnitude of someone of Sami Zayn's caliber who's been busting his ass to be considered one of the guys, can carry a championship, can be the face of a brand, to be the face of the company. And he gets the opportunity, finally. He wins the championship, finally. And 9 days later, he loses the belt. He doesn't lose the belt to just anyone. He loses the belt to a returning CM Punk. How do you make sense of that? How do you, as a genuine fan, as a genuine wrestling company, make sense of someone who's been a clog in your machine for damn near, you can say a decade plus, but really for like 4 years now? You didn't give the belt to Sammy when he was at his apex, his peak in WWE, which was coming out of the bloodline against Roman Reigns in Montreal because you had to go to WrestleMania 39 with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. So we gave you a pass for that. Somewhat. Some people didn't, but somewhat. And then you have this man finally capture his title in Saudi Arabia, and I said this when I heard that this was going to happen. I knew it then. I said they only are giving Sammy this title in Saudi Arabia this time because the plan is changed since WrestleMania 43. WrestleMania 43, everybody assumed that Sammy was going to win the title at WrestleMania 43. Everybody assumed it. But when I heard Sammy was going to be a part of this, I'm like, they're going to give him the belt now so they don't have to give him the belt next year. And that's fucked up because whatever the plan is, Sammy is not a part of it. Now, what I preferred that they would have given him the belt at Royal Rumble and he walked in, at least give him a month with the title, and then you want to give it back to Cody. Okay, I guess. And then you would have more time to actually flush out the Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu story. Maybe would have had more time with the Randy Orton and fucking Cody story. and we wouldn't have to have Pat McAfee and fucking Jelly Roll in it. The noun of the what ifs in WWE is so fucking far in between. It's so fucking far. Because you think about it, they had a PLE in Saudi Arabia January, Royal Rumble. Sammy fought for the WWE Championship. He could have just beat Drew then. You could have gave him the belt then. You could have had a month reign or 2 month reign. He would have lost to Cody. You could have had all of the shit you had. Sammy still could have took the U.S. title from Carmelo, which I would have not liked at all. But at least you would have had a reason to have Carmelo trick in Sammy at WrestleMania. You could have still had the matches you had, Jacob and Drew. You could have still had Cody and Randy. Hell, you could even put Sammy in a fucking elimination chamber. And you could have had Randy win the belt from fucking Sammy then. And you still could have had Randy turn heel. I don't know how the fuck you do it, but you could have turned Randy heel because Cody found a way to weasel himself into a title match. Something. You could have did something. But giving this man a belt, the title, finally, you gave him the WWE Championship just to then fuck him over like that last night is bad. It's just bad. It's bad optics. It shows that this company has no idea how to actually tell stories anymore, genuine stories anymore, because you basically, and this is something I want people to also understand. Sammy was not walking into SummerSlam as champion. Even if I wanted it, because I did. I wanted Sammy to win and keep the belt until SummerSlam. I thought that would be a good idea. But there's no challenger for Sammy. You could say Gunther, but clearly they're going in a whole different direction with Gunther. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with Gunther. I believe that if I was WWE, I think I said it, but if I was WWE, I would have Nick Aldis say, I can't physically touch you. And I know that. I am the GM. I can't physically touch you. But I know somebody that can. And that's when you bring Ilya Dragunov out. And that's how we get Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about with Royce Keys. I don't know what story. They are high on Royce Keys, and I don't even think they're really high on Royce Keys. I think he's one of Cody's dudes, Punk's dudes from AEW, and they're trying to like push him and keep them happy. I don't really think they're high on that fucking dude at all, to be honest with you. I don't. I don't think they're high on him at all. Because they're trying to keep Punk or Cody or both of them happy with having him there. They're trying to make him into something. Listen, man, I'm not again. Listen, I like Powerhouse Hobbs. I like Royce Keys. But fighting Gunther at SummerSlam, what a fucking fall for Gunther. Like, it's. I'm sorry, man. What a fucking fall for Gunther. Good God almighty. Last year, you were in the main event of SummerSlam Night 1. This year, you're fighting Royce fucking Keys? Like, the fuck? What? Oh my God, that is a fucking fall, bro. Lord have mercy. And then not even that. They get the last couple of months for fucking Gunther. You had John Cena, who you retired. You retired AJ Styles. You beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. You're fighting Royce Keys at SummerSlam. Nigga, what? Oh my God, that's a fucking fall. Then it shows you they don't know what the fuck to do. I think WWE have what they want to do, and then they have TKO come in and say, yeah, that's great. Now, this is what we're going to do. Because some of this shit don't make sense. Some of these storylines legitimately don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand what Gunther and Royce Keys will have anything to do with each other. What the fuck do they have to do with each other? You got a month to tell it, but you don't really even have a month. You have literally Friday, this Friday, the Friday after that. Well, you got like 4 Fridays. That's it. You have 4 Fridays to make this storyline make sense. And that is why I say, why do all that work when you can literally just bring in Ilya Dragunov and it makes way more fucking sense? It's a match we want to see, and it would make actual genuine fucking sense. And if Gunther loses to Ilya Dragunov, that's a person that's already beat Gunther, that has his number, and it would actually not have another L on Gunther's resume. That doesn't make logical sense. Because Royce keeps beating Gunther. And that's my thing. It's like he's beating Gunther. So I don't understand why you would have a match where Gunther beats him for no reason. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Anyway. I know one thing. WWE could not have put that belt back on Cody Rhodes. So in their minds, they kill two birds with one stone. We get the belt off of Sammy. We get three birds with one stone, really. We get Punk on SmackDown because now Punk is going to SmackDown, which is something that they have been saying for a while. I said this. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. That Punk is going to SmackDown. We knew it. Well, now you didn't have a reason for him to go to SmackDown other than he's fighting Cody Rhodes. Well, that doesn't make sense. Why the fuck would he just go to SmackDown and get a title match when they got multiple people on SmackDown that could get a title match for CM Punk? Well, now he's the champion. So now you move him to SmackDown. You clearly are going CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Yes, Cody Rhodes has earned the title match. But so has Sammy. Sammy's earned a rematch. So this is what I'm thinking they're going to do. They're going to try to make it make sense, and they're going to probably try to make Cody versus Sammy at MSG. Would I do that? Fuck no. I would not do that because I feel like you're going to put Cody Rhodes in an unwinnable situation because that crowd is going to fucking turn on him. That crowd is going to turn on him. They're going to be dangerous. They're going to be unmerciful on his ass because it feels like it's politics over actual who deserves it. It feels like politics over who actually deserves it. And that is why right now Cody Rhodes is starting to fall into this perspective, in this persona of, bro, you're just a politician. I didn't feel that way with John Cena said it last year. I feel that way now. And I like Cody. I fuck with Cody. But this is a problematic situation that WWE has booked themselves into. And I said this shit last week with Oba not taking the crown and going for the title. WWE booked themselves in such a fucking problematic situation that they can't get themselves out of it. They don't know how to get out of it. And they're spiraling out of it. They're spiraling. You took the belt off of Cody, which you should have done. But then you put the belt on Punk. That's not a problem. If Punk had been on TV for fucking weeks, if Punk had actually told a story. Now, you can sit here and say, well, Punk kind of did tell a story. He said, WrestleMania night, the night after WrestleMania, you never know when a championship opportunity could just fall from the sky. So we're in Chicago. I get a call. I'll pull up. I get the belt. You can make it make sense. But even in that sense, man, it's just, this is hard to explain. For those that are now faking and pretending that like, oh my God, I can't believe WWE did Sammy like this. Y'all are the same fucking people that was feeding Sami Zayn and Oba Femi at the fucking Night of Champions. Please spare me the sorrow. Please stop acting like you're so fucking hurt. Y'all motherfuckers was putting this motherfucker to Oba Femi. Y'all are feeding his ass to Oba Femi the 12 seconds after he won the fucking belt. You niggas was feeding him to Oba Femi 12 seconds after he won the belt. Ah, great. He can lose to Oba now, and we don't have to have Oba fight Roman. So please spare me this bullshit. Please spare me that fake-ass outrage that y'all are trying to act like you have. Because you don't. You don't have it. The problem that you have is that the same old fucking people are always at the top. And that's a problem I have. WWE needs to fix this shit because they're not making it make sense anymore. I get it. Cody Rhodes is supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to be the main event guy, but instead it has actually turned out to be a very bad thing. He's not actually moving the needle. He's not. He's not moving the needle. And as much as y'all like, well, just turn him heel. I don't know what a heel turn would do for him. And I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But I'm in 100. I don't know what a heel turn would do for him. And turning him heel now, at this point, I think too much damage has been done to him. Yes, you could say it might have the same ramifications that a Roman Reigns turning heel did. But the difference between when Roman turned heel and Cody turning heel is Roman had a story to play off of. Roman became he did the bloodline. He had Jimmy and Jay. He had Paul Heyman. Turning Cody heel at this point, I don't see what's the point. Because I think it's too much irreparable damage that has been done already. There's not anything Cody can do as a heel that I don't think he can. What can he do? What, he's gonna dye his hair black? He's gonna I'm trying to figure this part out. What, is he gonna dye his hair black? He's gonna what can he? Well, he's not gonna wear suits anymore. What are y'all seeing that I'm not seeing? Because again, he has to be a heel in the confines of WWE. Y'all keep thinking he's gonna turn into this heel that he was on the Indies. He has to be a heel in the confines of the WWE. They have to still market him. So he can't be this ruthless aggression, take no prisoners heel. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how you go from being what he is now to what the fuck he can be as a heel. I don't know. I could be completely fucking wrong, but I don't know, man. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Did WWE? Here's the thing: you put the belt on somebody like a CM Punk who has the fans. No matter what, I heard JD from New York say this, and he's right. No matter if Punk's a heel or a face, he's too locked in to what he is. His legacy is cemented. It doesn't matter whether you cheer him or boo him. His legacy is cemented. And I think that's the thing. Now, let me address this also, because I see this shit a lot on social media. Immediately, people wanted to run out here and try to try to like correlate Sammy last night to Punk in The Rock at Royal Rumble. Oh, he's turned into The Rock. No, no. CM Punk had that belt for 434 fucking days. That's one. So already, that correlation is dead in the fucking water. Let's get that out the way. That correlation is already dead in the water. I don't know how the fuck you saw last night and try to relate that to the same thing. No, it's not. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk had the belt for 434 days. It is not the fucking same. Sammy had the belt for 9. A week and a fucking half. A week and a fuck. I can even say it's a week and a half. Nigga had it for like a week and 2 days. A week and 48 hours. That motherfucker had it for a week and 48 hours. So no, it's not the same. So let's get that shit out the way. When Punk lost his belt, it was more so off of Vince McMahon wanting to rerun John Cena and The Rock for a second time for a championship this time. And Punk deserved to be in the main event of WrestleMania. He deserved it. He busted his ass. He got that belt to show after show, match after match. He had to deal with Ryback and all these other fucking goofy wrestlers. And he damn near had a whole rivalry with John Cena for damn near 2 years. Never main evented a PLE except when he was fighting fucking John Cena or The Rock. He had earned the spot at WrestleMania. He had deserved it. He had earned it. He should have had it. This is not the same. As much as I love Sami Zayn and I respect Sami Zayn, it is not the same. You can make an argument that, yes, even though Sami Zayn has busted his ass, has he earned a SummerSlam main event? Has he earned it? I can't say he has. That's the difference. I don't think he has. You can make the argument, and I will be 100% like, yeah, I get it. But I can't say he earned a SummerSlam main event. That's insane. Also, Punk, at this time in 2013, was over as shit. Even if you booed him, he was still over as shit. Not saying Sammy's not over as shit, but there's a massive difference. This is more like Christian and Randy Orton, which actually kickstarted one of the best rivalries in 2011. But this is more like Christian and Randy Orton than it was CM Punk and The Rock. Like, y'all jump out and make the worst. I get what you're trying to do, but the correlations are fucking terrible. It is god awful, and because you think you're winning and you think you're saying something of value, you have no understanding of what the fuck you're actually saying. Like, you're trying to compare The Rock and Punk situation to this, and it's not even in the same fucking vein, bro. Like, I'm not watching it. It's not even in the same fucking vein, bro. It's not, bro. It's not. Now, here's I don't know if it's a silver lining, but here's the silver lining if you are Sami Zayn or you do feel like Sami got fucked over. The Christian and Randy Orton situation. Christian got fucked over. Randy Orton came in, took the belt from Christian in like 6 days. 5 days, really, because he won the belt Sunday and then he lost the belt on that Friday. So like 5 days. He didn't even have a full fucking week to even be champion yet. He lost that belt in 5 days to Randy Orton because Vince McMahon just did not like Christian. I don't know what the fuck it was. He just didn't like the fucking man. He loved Edge, hated Christian. I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't think Triple H despises Sami Zayn. I think that's why he gave him the belt. But again, when you hear this report comes out today that, oh, WWE doesn't see Sami as a main event guy. First of all, it's not WWE. It's TKO WWE. TKO doesn't see Sami Zayn as a main event guy, which is kind of funny and ironic because the funny part that I say about that is, well, if he's not a main event guy, we'll tell the Bloodline that because the Bloodline has not been a functional story since Sami Zayn got the fuck out of it. Oh, do you want to have this conversation now? Because Sami Zayn is the reason for why that storyline was even a storyline. Like I said a lot, y'all forget shit because you don't want to rehash it. Because it makes what you think is legendary and legacy driven actually fucking boring and not really watchable. As much as people talk about the Bloodline, you never really hear them talk about the 2 years before Sami got into it. Because that storyline was fucking boring. That storyline was boring. It was fucking boring. The Bloodline storyline was fucking boring. 2020 to 2022, it was a fucking boring ass storyline. It was. It was boring. God awful. It was fucking boring. It was times where I was like, man, if y'all don't just take the belt off of fucking Roman, what are we doing? You had nothing matches that led nowhere. The longest rivalry he had at that time was with Finn Balor. Yeah, you remember that match when the fucking turnbuckle collapsed and Finn was the demon and the fucking turnbuckle collapsed? What were all you? Oh man, we need Finn to be the guy. What were y'all doing? Remember that shit? Yeah, that was during the early stages of the bloodline. It was a bunch of nothing matches from WrestleMania 37 after he had that great triple threat with Daniel Bryan and Edge. He beat Cesaro. He beat what? He beat Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan left the company and went to AEW. Then he beat Cesaro in Backlash and he left and went to AEW. And then for a good stretch of time, he just didn't have shit going on. Until Edge came back and Money in the Bank. And that's when the actual storyline fucking started to heat up a little bit. Because every fucking week he had a new person coming out of nowhere. Nostalgia, really. Edge comes back and he finally gets his one-on-one match that he was supposed to have at Royal Rumble. I mean, at WrestleMania, because he won the Royal Rumble that year. He finally gets his one-on-one match at Money in the Bank, but Seth Rollins screws him. But what happens after that match? John Cena comes back. And now it's John Cena and Roman Reigns going into SummerSlam. And then that happens. And then what happens after that? Who comes back? Brock Lesnar. So every fucking week, every month, they had to bring somebody in to make Roman Reigns a presentable fucking figure. It was never the storyline that did it. I think people forget that shit. It was never the storyline. Storyline didn't mean shit at that moment. It was the fact that you bought an Edge, and Edge created something. And then you bought... Because here's the thing. You want to know what the storyline was? Trying to get Jimmy Uso to be a part of the bloodline. People get this. Jay left when Jimmy came back because Jimmy and Roman were bickering like bitches. They were bickering basically the whole time, trying to get Jay to lean one way and lean the other. And then when Jay left for whatever reason, Jimmy comes in and Jimmy's like, hey man, I can take, my brother's spot. I could be the right-hand man. Again, people try to act and forget that this happened, but it did. And Jimmy tried to then become the right-hand man. And then what happened? Jimmy then he couldn't get it done. He couldn't get it done. And Roman said, you know what? I'm gonna go get Jay because you can't do this shit. And by the way, he was getting his ass whooped by Edge every fucking week. When Edge came back, he was getting his ass whooped every week by Edge. In the Mysterios, yeah, Dominic and Ray was whooping Jimmy's ass every fucking week. But people forget this shit. That was a long period of the Bloodline storyline that sucked. You had Roman fighting fucking Adam Pearce. Yeah, that happened. Roman was fighting Adam Pearce, bro. Fighting Shinsuke. I love Shinsuke, but come on, bro. At that time, come on. People forget there was a long storyline, but there's a lot of the Bloodline storyline that just did not hit, and it didn't make sense, and it was stupid, and it was boring as fuck. Until 2022, summer of 2022, where you had Roman go against Edge and then John Cena, and then that Brock Lesnar storyline carried through most of the rest of the fucking year. It really carried the rest of the year because Brock and him had, the crown jewel match, and then the storyline went from, is Paul Heyman really a Brock Lesnar advocate or is he the wise man? And that became a thing. And then, Paul Heyman says to Roman, I wasn't protecting Brock Lesnar from you. I was protecting you from Brock. I wasn't protecting you from Brock Lesnar. I was protecting Brock Lesnar. I wasn't protecting Brock Lesnar from you. I was protecting you from Brock Lesnar. And Roman kicks him out the bloodline because of that. And then you go to Royal Rumble and helps Bobby Lashley win the WWE Championship, which they took the fucking belt right off of him the next fucking month so they could have the goofy ass biggest main event in WrestleMania history shit between him and Brock, which that fucking match sucked. I watched all of this shit. That's why I can honestly tell you that storyline to get good until Sammy got into it. That's just facts. That's facts, nigga. So when I hear TKO try to act like, oh man, and by the way, Sammy was that was the driving force that made that fucking storyline watchable every fucking week. Sammy being basically manipulated and used, his back and forth with Jay, which is why Jay got so fucking hot to begin with. See, people say it was the Yeet. No, the Yeet kept him hot. But Sammy is what made Jay hot. Yeah. Sammy is what made Jay hot. It wasn't no fucking Yeet. Sammy is what kept Jay hot. Sammy made Jay. That's the facts. Roman didn't do shit. Sammy made Jay. Sami Zayn made Jey Uso. That's who the fuck made Jey Uso. Roman Reigns didn't do shit. Roman might have gaslighted, but Sammy's the one that made Jay. Because every conflict that Jay had in the bloodline was with Sammy. Did he have a conflict with Roman? Except from the earlier stages, but when he finally got in line, you didn't hear a fucking peep from Jey Uso about Roman Reigns until Sammy got involved. Sammy made Jay, not Roman, not the fucking bloodline. Sammy. Sammy gave Jay a fucking character. You want to know who made Jey Uso? Sammy fucking Zayn did. He gave Jay a fucking character. He made Jay crash out Jey Uso. He made him that way. Roman didn't do shit. Jimmy didn't do shit. Paul Heyman didn't do maybe a little bit of Paul. But Sammy is what gave Jey Uso a fucking relatable character. The family member that feels slighted because your cousin, your big brother, whatever, is looking at somebody else and telling them they're more family than you are. And y'all are fucking blood. Everybody related to that shit. That's what made Jay relatable. Wasn't no fucking Yeet. It was the fact that he would crash out over his family, over the smallest shit. And he had a target. Sammy, he had a fucking target. Because everybody can see, yo, Sammy, you not fucking blood, bro. And when they finally decide that you're not blood, you're going to get your ass whipped. Whenever you do something against the tribal chief, you are fucking out of here. We knew that. But people try to act like this storyline was great. But Sammy made this storyline great. You want to know what made it peak cinema? Sammy. So when I hear this report today that, TKO, WWE doesn't see Sammy as a main event player. They don't see him as a money player like that. That's funny because if it wasn't for Sammy, the bloodline would have been dead 2 fucking years into the storyline. Nobody gave a fuck about the bloodline. You care about it now. You like it now. You talk about it now. But for a good stretch of that story, nobody had a character. No one. Roman was the only one that had a character, and his character was fucking boring. Because all he would do was just come out, and this is again around the time where he was taking his fucking breaks. So it really he didn't have a genuine fucking character. He didn't have anything. So when people try to act like, oh man, Sammy, I didn't see it. All of these shit, if it wasn't for Sami Zayn, the bloodline storyline would not have even made it past 2 fucking years. Now y'all can seriously say, "Oh, Roman deserves credit for that." Whatever, nigga. Whatever floats your fucking boat. But in reality, Roman Reigns didn't do shit. He basically played the manipulator. Whenever he was on TV, he gaslight shit. But the only time Roman Reigns actually did something for the Bloodline storyline was the beginning. When he fought Jay. That was it. He started it. I give you that. But after that, everything else was basically either boring or lulls through the fucking storyline or nothing really was happening because you basically put Jay in line, so nothing really was happening. His two biggest rivals during that time was Kevin Owens and fucking Finn Balor. Nothing was happening until Sammy got in the picture. So when I hear people sit here and try to act like, oh, Sami Zayn as a main event caliber guy, I don't see it. That's stupid. And this is why I say a lot of y'all that's sitting there and trying to bitch, moan, and complain today about what happened to Sammy last night. Y'all are the same goofy ass fans that was sitting there talking about how you didn't like Sami Zayn taking the belt off of Solo a couple of months ago. So please shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Sami Zayn, you were sitting there crying and bitching and moaning and complaining about Sami Zayn, what, 8 fucking months ago? Damn near a year ago. When he beat Solo and took the belt off of Solo. Oh my God, I can't believe he would take the belt off of Solo and give it to Sami Zayn. What the fuck are they doing? Same fans that's having a fucking cry marathon right now on social fucking media. That's why I said IWC is the stupidest fucking fan base in fucking any profession. It's worse than sports media. It's worse than fucking hip hop media. It's just terrible because you niggas sway with the wind. You don't have a fucking opinion. You don't. It sways with the wind. Whoever you feel like got done wrong, you try to act like, oh my God, it's the world. The world's in. No, nigga, it just happened. Shit happens. Do I like this situation? Fuck no, I don't like this situation. But I know why I don't like it. Because Cody and Punk don't need a fucking title on the line. And if you're going to do it, have it with more intrigue than this. Just doing this match at SummerSlam because you just want a big fucking match. Now, here's the thing. Cody Rhodes is finally going to cut promos that actually make sense. I give you that. Punk's going to force him to cut promos that's actually going to make him make sense. You're actually going to care about what Cody's talking about now. But let's not get this twisted. They're going to have a rematch at WrestleMania. Because Cody, like I've been saying, Cody's about to leave WWE and go do press for fucking Street Fighter. That's coming. So I don't think they're going to take the belt off of Punk at SummerSlam. And that is why I say Punk and Sami Zayn are going to go one-on-one at some point. It's going to happen again. And that might be the rivalry until Cody comes back in the fall. Because you got to realize he's going to go do press for Street Fighter. Same thing with Roman Reigns. Which is why I think he needs to lose the belt at SummerSlam. Why keep the belts on people that are not going to fucking be on TV for at least a month or two? Why? They got to go across the world. They got to do traveling. They got to do Japan. They got to do all these places. They have to literally go do all of this shit. Well, why keep a belt on those guys when they're not on TV? It makes no sense. Can they come back and get the fucking belt? Of course they can come back and get the belt. They're Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. But at this point, no. You need a champion. So that's the perfect person to put the belt on. But for people that's sitting there and acting like last night was some ungodly tragedy, bro, stop it. Stop it. It's something new for you to cry, bitch, and moan and complain about. It's something new for you to try to act like you're so fucking outraged, when in reality you're not. Because if you were outraged, you know what the fuck you would have done? You would put on social media, give Sammy a chance. It would have been a wide, mad, give Sammy a chance, like it was for Cody Rhodes when we clearly knew he got fucked over. So why is it not that? Why is there not a hashtag give Sammy a chance? Why is it not a hashtag make Sammy main event? Why is it not a hashtag something? Why is it not? Because you don't give a fuck. That's why. You don't give a fuck. You don't care. It's something to complain about until we get to SummerSlam. And then we get to SummerSlam and you're not going to give a fuck. Because you're going to get the Punk and Cody match. You're like, oh my God, this match is so great. Yeah, they could have put Sammy in it. But come on. They know this shit. They know you niggas don't care. Fake ass outrage be pissing me off. This shit just gets me fucking mad because it's, bro, like, y'all are acting like now y'all niggas are like the biggest Sami Zayn fans. What the fuck was this when he won a title and you niggas was on Twitter literally after he won the belt? This man barely walked up the fucking ramp yet. He ain't even cut a promo yet. And he didn't even walk up the fucking ramp yet. And y'all niggas like, yeah, I'm happy Sammy won so he could lose to Obafemi. Miss me with this sorrow. Miss me with that displacement of bullshit sympathy. Because you niggas don't give a fuck. You don't care. It's something to complain about. And next week, you're going to find something else to complain about. Something else WWE is going to do. Because WWE is going to definitely do something stupid next week. Something's going to happen that they're going to do something stupid. And guess what? You're going to be mad about that. So please miss me with that bullshit. Sheamus. If I get off here, I got to talk about Sheamus, man. Sheamus is no longer in the WWE. He has officially announced kind of that he's basically not resigning. He's gone. WWE tried to make him do a contract, basically try to do what they did to the New Day. Basically try to make him take a reduction in his pay. And Shane was like, haha, fuck that. I'm good. I'm out. I'm good. I'm out. This is another thing I saw a lot of people get outraged over on social media. It wasn't as crazy, it wasn't as bad, but it was still some like discourse. Listen, man, Sheamus is 48 years old. He has been in WWE for 19 fucking years. That's insane. 19 fucking years? That's insane. That's crazy. It's something I said a long time ago about fans, man. It's not that you're mad that Sheamus is leaving. You feel like it's a story that just you didn't get a conclusion to. And Sheamus not winning the Intercontinental Championship is a story we didn't get a conclusion to. So you feel some type of way about it. But if Sheamus was to win a title and then leave, you'd be like, oh man, he had a great career, man. I understand why he leaving. That's some fuck shit. Like we gotta stop getting overly outraged over shit that don't make sense to be mad about. Listen, man, Sheamus has had an incredible fucking career. You got to realize this man has done everything in the business except win the Intercontinental Championship. He won the King of the Ring. He's won the Royal Rumble. He's won the Money in the Bank. He's been in the War Games. Fuck, man. He's been in the War Games. This man has been a U.S. champion. He's been a WWE champion multiple times over. Multiple U.S. championships. Multiple tag team championships. This man has done every fucking thing you can think of. And to think, he debuted on ECW. Yeah. Do y'all remember WWE ECW? Because it wasn't ECW. It was WWE ECW. Paul Heyman had been left. He debuted on ECW. So did Kofi Kingston. But at this point in his career, and at the point of WWE at this point, I hear a lot when people do this shit. Loyalty. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. There's no such thing as a WWE lifer anymore. And I said this shit when R-Truth posted on social media and talked about his contract and that he wasn't doing this anymore. I said this then. I said we're gonna regret the day that people are fighting for so hard to get R-Truth back in WWE because TKO has finally figured out TKO is a business, bro. They don't give a fuck about nothing you talking about. They are a business. They are a business. TKO runs this shit like a business. And they're looking at the age on the paper just like Vince did. Vince used to do the same shit. Don't get it twisted. Vince did not like certain wrestlers over 40, 50 fucking years old. He didn't. Vince used to do the same shit. TKO is looking at this business. TKO is looking at this shit like a business. Are they in the wrong business? Yes. They're in the wrong fucking business. Because regardless of how people feel about it, man, wrestling fans have an attachment. And I said this about R-Truth years ago when R-Truth came back. A year ago. I said this about R-Truth. I said people are fighting so hard to get R-Truth back in the company. You're not realizing what the fuck this actually is going to lend itself into. Which is what's happening in WWE at this moment, which is a lot of people are getting asked to take pay cuts. Because when they got the contract, you got to realize a lot of people, when they got the contract, it was during a time where WWE was trying to lock people in because they didn't want them to go to AEW or they didn't want them to go somewhere else. Like, there was a lot of things about the business. So when they locked a lot of these people into these deals, some of them maybe 2023, 2024, they were trying to lock them into a new TKO. And then this shit happens. And now it's time for them to have a different conversation with these people. TKO sees this shit as a business, man. And if you don't understand that, then you're gonna hate how this motherfuckers move. But the problem with the business is that you're starting to fall into this situation of the business. Is it business? Is it business or is it loyalty? TKO has no loyalty to any of these wrestlers. They didn't hire them. They didn't sign them. They didn't bring their ass in. They have no loyalty. New Day, Sheamus, Kairi Sane, any other people that have been let go. I'm still waiting for Shinsuke Nakamura to get released at some point. I'm waiting for Shinsuke to get released. It sounds insane that Shinsuke is still in WWE. He's still under contract. I'm waiting to see him get released. Damian Priest, even though he just went to AAA, I can see it. R-Truth at some point. I don't know if the Miz is gonna get released. I don't know if the Miz contract is gonna just expire and they're not gonna renew him because the Miz is like I said, the Miz is too valuable to WWE outside of it. So I don't think that's why they're gonna keep. If they keep the Miz, it's not because they keep the Miz because if they keep the Miz, it's not because if they keep the Miz, it's because of how valuable he is outside of WWE, not what he does in WWE. Everybody that they have, everybody that's being let go or contracts not being renewed, the value of them doesn't matter to them. And that is the thing I'm trying to say, really. I'm trying to say TKO has no loyalty. to WWE lifers. I see an age, I see a number, I see the money on the paper. What the fuck? Call their ass up and see if we can get this restructured. No? Bye. That's the loyalty. It's a business. And the quicker, and I said this shit a year ago with R-Truth, the quicker we understand this shit, the better it would be, because they have no heart. Y'all want them to have a genuine heart. Y'all want them to have a I can't let go R-Truth. I can't let go The Miz. I can't let go Sheamus. I can't let go Kairi Sane. You want them to have a heart. There's no heart in business, bro. There's no heart in business. And it's fucked up because these are people that busted their ass and put that company on their shoulders and show everyone what they're capable of. And yet, there's no loyalty in this shit. There's no loyalty. TKO has no loyalty to any of these fucking people. And the quicker you understand that, the more fucked up it's going to get. The more fucked up it's going to get. Because it won't hurt you so much. Oh my God, Sheamus, New Day, Kairi Sane, Apollo Crews, all these people getting released. What the fuck? Braun Strowman, all these people. Wyatt Six. You're in your feelings. They don't have feelings. They don't have a heart. They could care less. They see money. They see money. And yes, Vince had somewhat of a heart, but even Vince himself will let people go. Sometimes Vince will hold your fucking contract. Vince, I think, what was it? There's multiple stories of Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler, all these people saying, yeah, I was supposed to leave WWE on this day. My contract expired on this day. And Vince would sign, Vince basically would, Vince would basically keep me under contract, particularly just for this stretch of my contract, just so he can keep me there so I couldn't go somewhere else and wrestle right away. These are stories. So when people try to act like, oh man, Vince, Vince would never do this. It's a fucking lie. Vince would hold people's contracts. That's a fucking lie. Go listen to Dolph Ziggler talk about this with Chris Van Vliet. He was like, man, I was supposed to leave after SummerSlam after I lost to Goldberg, and yet Vince was still trying to keep me there. You don't want what Vince became, which is a fucking hoarder. What Tony Khan does, which is basically keep people under contract, knowing they want to go somewhere else, but still keeping them because he just doesn't want them to go to the other company. I prefer you leave. I prefer Sheamus goes to another company. I prefer this to happen. I prefer you just walk out your contract, your deal, and go somewhere else if you still believe you can wrestle at an elite level. If that is the case, then my brother, my sisters, anybody that's listening to this shit, stop crying, bitching, and moaning about people being released from deals because you feel some way about it. I prefer you go to a TNA. I prefer you go to AEW and team up with Claudio Castagnoli one last time, and they call themselves, like, they can't call themselves the Bar, call themselves the Rising or the Stake or whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves. The Bet. I don't give a fuck. But go team up with Claudio Castagnoli, take them out the Death Riders, and have y'all be a tag team and run through the AEW tag team division, whatever that shit is, and run through that motherfucker. I prefer that. I prefer Sheamus to go to AEW. Hell, join the Death Riders. I don't give a fuck. Do something. Him, John Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli would kill. Do something. I prefer it. Like, instead of you sitting and knowing you're never going to be used the way you thought you would be used, especially if you're taking a fucking pay cut. But that is all, man. That's all I wanted to talk about tonight, today. That's it, man. I'll be back next week. I'm still debating if I'm gonna do rating review show for Saturday main event. That card sucks. That card fucking sucks. I'm looking at it. Danhausen versus JD McDonough. I think Paige and Bree are supposed to be defending the tag team titles against Fatal Influence. Like that man, that just sucks. Like that card is horrible. They got to do something. I'm assuming they gonna probably put Cody and Sammy on there for winner goes to SummerSlam. I'm assuming that's what. But here's that: you still got to put Gunther in this because Gunther is the one that took Cody out. So are we just gonna ignore that Gunther did that? Is that what we're doing? Like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know how this works. I'm really starting to understand that this is why I say Saturday Night Main Event has got to be something. There's got to be something that's going to captivate MSG, right? It's got to be something because I don't see this card making sense. If this is the Madison Square Garden Saturday Night Main Event, boy, this shit sucks. Boy, this shit sucks. This shit's horrible. So I can see them doing like a triple threat. Winner goes against Punk at SummerSlam. I can see it. Like I can see it. Gunther, Sammy, and Cody. Winner gets Punk at SummerSlam. That's 2 weeks out. I can see it. Now, is that rerunning the same shit? Yes. We literally just saw this match at fucking Night of Champions. Why would you do another one? That doesn't make sense. But it's WWE, and they don't know how to tell stories. So there it is. But until next time, man, I'm Brandon Janeau. Peace.